There are dreams that evaporate the moment you wake up, like steam on a mirror. And then there are the others, the ones that cling to your skin all day, that return as scattered images while you work, eat, or try to fall asleep again. They're not nightmares in the classic sense. There aren't always monsters or blood. The unsettling part is something else. It's the feeling that your mind showed you something you weren't ready to see, but perhaps needed to. Hello, inhabitants of the internet. Welcome to a new video. This is not a catalog of quick superstitions or a horoscope disguised as psychology. It's a journey through 5 common dreams that, when examined closely, reveal uncomfortable meanings, sometimes ironic, sometimes brutally honest. Each one is a door, and opening them is never innocent. Number 1. Dreaming that your teeth fall out. The dream begins with something minimal, a slight movement in your mouth, a tooth that doesn't quite fit. You touch it with your tongue, and it moves. The panic arrives late. First, one falls out, then another. You hold them in your hand like small, broken pieces of yourself. There's no blood, no pain, just a dry, unnatural sensation, as if your body were coming apart without asking permission. This dream is visually brutal because it attacks identity. Teeth are strength, image, permanence. They are the smile you present to the world. When they fall out, the message is cruelly clear. Something you believed to be solid is crumbling. It can be fear of aging, of failing, of losing value. It's insecurity taking physical form. What's disturbing isn't losing the teeth, it's the calm with which the dream allows it, as if the mind had already accepted the loss before you had. Number 2. Dreaming that you're late. Always late. It doesn't matter where to. An exam, a wedding, an airport, your own funeral. The clock moves too fast, or your legs feel heavy, as if you were walking through water. You know time is running out, and still, you don't arrive. This dream is a chase without a pursuer. There's no villain, only the constant feeling of failing. Psychologically, it often appears in people who live with silent self-demand, the kind that doesn't make noise but tightens the chest. What's disturbing is that it's not about the event, but about your relationship with yourself. Being late symbolizes a diffuse guilt, the idea that you're not living up to your own potential, that there's a version of you always waiting in another room. Some studies suggest this dream is more common in cultures obsessed with productivity. You don't dream of resting, you dream of not measuring up, and that says far more about your waking world than you'd like to admit. Number 3. Dreaming that you're naked in public. You're surrounded by people. The setting is ordinary. A street, an office, a school, everything moves along normally, until you look down. You're wearing nothing. The air feels colder. Every step is heavier. You try to cover yourself with your hands, with non-existent objects, with absurd excuses. No one helps you. Some stare. Others go on as if it were normal. That makes it worse. This dream isn't about the body, but about absolute exposure. It's the fear of being seen without defenses, without filters, without the character you play every day. It represents secrets, insecurities, mistakes you fear will come to light. Nakedness here is symbolic. It's your most vulnerable self placed in front of the world without consent. And the most disturbing part is that it often appears when, in real life, you're pretending that everything is under control.
Number 4. Dreaming that someone is chasing you. You run, you hide. Your heart slams against your ribs as if it wants to escape. You never clearly see who's following you, but you know you must not stop. Fear has no face, and that makes it worse. This dream is a classic of emotional avoidance. It doesn't represent an external threat, but something internal you've chosen to ignore. A pending decision, an uncomfortable truth, an emotion you don't want to feel. The more you run in the dream, the clearer the message. There's something you refuse to face while awake. What's disturbing is that the pursuer rarely catches you. The dream repeats, changes settings, but keeps the same logic. Running is possible, resolving is not. It's like a series with no ending, renewed season after season by your own resistance. Some therapists say that when you finally stop in the dream and look back, the pursuer often transforms or disappears, not because it ceases to exist, but because it can no longer control you from the shadows. Number 5, dreaming that you die. It's not violent. It's not always sad. Sometimes it just happens. You fall, you fade, you observe, and then you wake up with a strange mix of relief and confusion. Dreaming of your own death is not a premonition, but it is one of the most radical metaphors for change. It represents the end of a stage, an identity, a version of yourself that no longer works. It's disturbing because it touches the furthest limit of what the brain can imagine, non-being. In many ancient cultures, this dream was interpreted as a sign of transformation, dying to be reborn. But even with that optimistic reading, the impact is deep, because it implies accepting that something must disappear for something else to exist. You wake up alive, yes, but with the feeling that you've left something behind, and you don't always know what.
Number 6, dreaming that you return to a familiar place, but it's distorted. You recognize the place instantly, the house where you grew up, your old school, a street from childhood, but something is off. The hallways are too long, the rooms are where they shouldn't be. There are closed doors that never existed before. Familiarity becomes unsettling, like a poorly reconstructed memory. This dream represents the clash between who you were and who you are now, the unconscious desire to go back, knowing that place no longer exists as you remember it. The past turns into a twisted stage because the mind can't inhabit it again. It doesn't cause immediate fear, it causes a slow, heavy sadness. The disturbance comes from realizing that there are places and versions of yourself you will never be able to return to. The echo upon waking. These dreams don't come to scare you, they come to interrupt you. They are messages written in symbols instead of words, sent from a part of you that doesn't ask permission to speak. What's disturbing isn't their isolated meaning, but the coherence they form when seen together. They speak of control, fear, identity, escape, and change, of what you hide beneath routine, of what you postpone with reasonable excuses, of what you know even when you don't want to know it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Maybe that's why, after knowing them, the title feels insufficient, because they're not just disturbing dreams, they're nocturnal reminders that the mind never fully sleeps, and that sometimes the truth uses darkness to make itself heard.